Views and opinions expressed are not necessarily those of the staff or management of the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas podcast.
Hi there, and welcome to this week's edition of the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas podcast. I'm John Engelman. Thanks for watching or listening. We appreciate you however you consume this podcast. This week, we're in downtown Springdale at Menya Kitakara with owner and chef Inggit Rianto. But before we talk to him,
Good news.
For the few of you who don't know, the James Beard Foundation named finalists or Chef Award nominees last week, and they're starting to figure out what we already know here in these parts. For the best chef in the South category, there are 5 nominees, and 2 of them come from Bentonville. Chef Matt Cooper of Conifer and Chef Rafael Rios of Yellos El Alma de Mexico. No Arkansas chef has ever won the award. Mark your calendars for June 16, as that's when the awards ceremony will take place from the Lyric Opera House in Chicago. You can watch it on eater.com. Last Friday, some magic happened at Brightwater. Magic standing for Mentoring Arkansas Girls in Culinary. The event's designed to help young women discover their voice in the kitchen through mentorship from experienced female chefs while fostering confidence and inspiring future culinary leaders. Brightwater chef Anna Kagan loved what she saw.
Thinking and figuring things out, and that all needs to be communicated. It's not so easy to have an idea in your head and then communicate it to a bunch of people that you've never worked with. And so I think this shows just how, what their skill level is. To be able to have an idea, to be put in front of 5 girls, young women that they've never cooked with before, and they're just knocking it out of the park.
Some sad news for a Fayetteville favorite. The Savoy Tea Company will be closing. They'll be focusing their efforts on their online store. Their doors will close on May the 10th. The eagerly anticipated Onyx Coffee and Chocolate Lab in downtown Springdale started a walk-up window service on Monday for drinks and a limited menu. The inside is still closed for a bit, but I'm told that early May is what's being eyeballed as the possible grand opening time. The walk-up window is open from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m., but will start staying open to 8 p.m. in a few weeks. Inggit Rianto is from Indonesia, but came to the U.S. to go to the University of Arkansas. He'd been in the corporate world for a good while before getting the itch to open a restaurant with his wife. How did he learn to cook? He'll tell us. They'd opened Ramen Nara in Rogers, and it had been open for a blink of an eye before COVID hit. He'll tell the story about how they stayed open during that time. He got the itch to open a new ramen place in Washington County, and he will also tell us how downtown Springdale went out the services of Menya Kitakara. Speaking of Kitakara, how did they land on that name? He'll tell us. We hear it all and much more with Inggit Rianto from Menya Kitakara, and that's right here next on the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation, innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. They're skilled experts, discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, leading by example. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org.
And welcome back. We are at Menya Kitakara, downtown Springdale, and we are with Inggit Rianto. Sir, thank you for your time. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, it's hard to believe, but you guys have already been open 9 months. How's that been? Does it feel like 9 months?
It's yeah. We didn't feel like it, but
yeah.
Yes, it's.
Has it gone fast?
Yes, going super fast.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. It's hard to slow down time when you're so busy. And I know you guys are incredibly busy here.
Thank you.
It's a good thing to have.
It is.
It's a good thing to have. Tell me how you've been received around here in downtown Springdale.
Yes, we've been very, very grateful with the support, specifically with the Springdale residents.
Mm-hmm.
So they are flocking downtown Springdale.
Isn't it great?
It is. It's happening,
Yeah,
right?
sure
It's
is.
not there yet, but I think we see a lot of buildings going up, a lot of new businesses,
Mm-hmm.
and and specifically for a Springdale resident, we're very, very grateful.
Well, and you've been in Northwest Arkansas for a while, and you remember what this place looked like. Downtown Springdale is what I'm talking about. Even 5 years ago, much less 10 years ago. It's night and day already.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, for sure. So, what was your? I know restaurants was not your initial thing. What was your initial profession?
Yes, so actually I worked my first career here after graduating from University of Arkansas. Actually, I worked for JB Hunt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And what at JB Hunt? Which part of it?
JB Hunt Logistics.
Oh, logistics.
Yes,
okay.
in Lowell. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So you did that for a long time. Where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Indonesia.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So did you? And this will kind of go into the next question about food. But did you grow up doing a lot of cooking as a kid?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So it takes me back here where I grew up. So actually, both of my parents are working.
Okay.
Right. To really see them. Good thing is, my next door neighbor is actually a restaurant.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
nice.
sometimes I hang out there and see them. The cook, do all the
Absolutely.
things. So.
Well, you became family with them if you were there every day.
Not every day, but yeah, most of the time.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. So that had to be a big influence on you.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yes.
Yeah. So,
Absolutely.
were the cooks? Did they start bringing you in the back and saying, if you're going to stay here for so long, you gotta put your time in?
Not near. Not
I mean, maybe not like that, word for word, but I mean, obviously, if you're there a long time, you get to know everybody, and I would assume you probably got some time in the kitchen, maybe.
Yeah, I got some time, and just the way they work. It just fascinates me.
Sure. Was that something back then, especially when you graduated college and you started JB Hunt? Was it something you were thinking to yourself that, maybe at some point this is something that I'd like to get involved with?
Well,
on the food side, that is.
On the food side, I think it's more of the passion that I built. It's just basically building inside of me. I just not knowing it, but. Yeah, I mean, I love to see people cook. I watch a lot of TV shows, cooking shows, YouTube, whatnot, right? So a lot of time it's just all the memories back, when I grew up. It just all came back to me. Even when I saw my mom cooked, right? We grew up in a large extended family that lived together.
Sure.
So it's basically my uncles,
yeah.
So we have like 8 siblings of my mom.
Okay.
They'll live there. So there's a lot of cooking. Oh. And also next door neighbor with, like I said, the restaurant is just like this heavy influence. So.
You're in the middle of all of that.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Okay. So you make the move to Arkansas, I'm assuming for the university.
Correct.
And once you graduate and get the job, you're thinking, I can't get the food that I like to eat. Or that I grew up on, maybe.
Yeah. So the food that I grew up, it's a little bit different on what I'm currently doing, right? But the essence is the same. So growing up, like I mentioned, my parents, both of them work pretty much long hours every day, 7 days a week. So whenever especially my dad, whenever he has time, so he actually took me to a noodle shop. So that's kind of the only time. Almost maybe not necessarily once a week, maybe like once a month.
Okay.
Right. So that's really bring a really sentimental memories, if you will.
Absolutely.
Right? Yep.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and that's kind of like me growing up. We'd go to restaurants. It was always a special occasion when we went. We didn't go a lot. And when we finally would go to, our neighborhood place or even the fancy place a little bit closer to downtown that we would go to, it was always for a special occasion. Yeah. And that's what I remember.
Yeah.
And, eventually I worked in restaurants. And now that I think about it, now that you say that, I thought, well, that makes sense too. Maybe that was a part of it as well for me. That's a great point.
Yep.
It is. So previous to Northwest Arkansas, had you had, outside of, maybe next door, had you had any restaurant experience at all?
Not really.
Okay.
I just love to eat. Love to see.
Oh, you're the one.
Yeah. Like I say, I'm really fascinated with the people cooking, right?
Sure.
The wok work and stuff like that. That's kind of a heavy influence. Ramen, back in the days when I grew up was not a thing.
Yeah.
So ramen, if you look at it, it's in the 80s is when it started popping up in Japan.
Okay.
So even in the US, it's like in the early 90s. So it's really not a lot there. So we didn't get experience all that stuff yet. But noodle is a big thing. So.
Yeah, it's still kind of, now that you say it like that, it's a little more of its infancy here.
Correct.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, so when did you decide enough of the corporate world, it's time to tie on an apron and get serious?
Yeah, so actually back in 2018.
Okay.
So, I was thinking about opening a business like the ramen shop, but at that time I was like, you know what, probably need to do both, right? Because we don't know, a lot of time the new restaurant, just the failure rate is pretty high.
So you mean continue with the corporate side while? Yeah, for sure.
So
and you got to have insurance.
I know. So I'm a little bit of a risk averse in that way. So
that's a good thing.
Yeah. So I did a chance to okay, you know what? I learned it from a ramen school, and then I just when it's time, I decided like, okay, I'm gonna go and do it. 2018, we able to find a place that we can open up in Rogers. So,
and let me stop you. What was the process like? Finally, sticking your toe in the water, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, this is real. This is going to happen. It can't. It's the no turning back point. When was that?
Yeah, so it is, looking back, it was just, to me, it's just a huge commitment, right? When you're talking about the investment, not just the money, the time, right?
Same thing.
Yeah, and also, like, again, the insurance, meaning I'm going to have to do 2 jobs, basically, right? Just make sure everything is going as planned, and then I can slowly kind of, move away from the corporate world.
Sure.
So, so actually, when that happens, this around 2018 when I decided, you know what, there is a need for ramen around here, and also just kind of noodle is my passion, and I was able to learn the right way, if you will, right? And I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's bring something that is really good in Northwest Arkansas. So why not we want it to be a gourmet, like a craft type
Absolutely.
dish where it's going to be a point of differentiation rather than just having a instant ramen or,
Which is what people around here knew.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Myself included. I'm serious, yeah.
Yep. So, that's 2018, 2019,
Okay.
then when we started, like, opening. And it's really no turning back when's that.
Oh, yeah. Well, when you put that deposit down, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. So you find your spot, and you start building it out from not owning a restaurant. How did you kind of figure out? Were you trying to make kind of your living room almost?
Yes. So that I remember oh, my goodness. So actually, I would say damaged one of the stove burner at home, because even before we start, we have no kitchen yet at that time, right?
Okay.
So we have to just do some sampling, doing all the cooking at home.
Okay.
And then cooking a long time is like, your household appliance is not built for that.
It's not professional standard.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So, I know, right? So,
oh, man.
So at that time, it's just basically, when looking back, right, it's just, we were the first true ramen restaurant, right? And then, again, no turning back with all the investment of money and time.
Sure.
And also the way the local received us. So it was really tough, actually.
Yeah.
So I was doing 2 jobs, so I had to take a vacation.
Oh. So you had to do a vacation from corporate to open.
Yes. Correct.
Oh, no.
Correct. So it was hard. I mean, I remember a few days prior to do all the preparation, making the noodles.
Sure.
With the noodle machine that what we brought in from Japan.
Oh, wow.
So it's just like a nonstop.
Yeah.
So I remember like stay late till 2:00 in the morning, whatnot.
Ugh.
So
And then back at 8?
Yep.
pretty much.
Pretty much. Yep.
Oh man, not great. So, the last 24 hours before you opened Nara, what was that like?
It was stressful. So yes. Oh, it's just the good thing is my wife's there, and she's kind of helped with the front of the house.
Sure.
That's one thing that I don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
So I just need to focus more on the back of the house. So it's a little bit, it's kind of a relief, if you will. But still, it was very hectic. We want to make sure everything's there. We prep. I remember it's like maybe a week before then, and allowing everything just. And again, even if you plan 100%, it's not going to go 100%.
No, it never
even
does.
before it's open. Okay?
And let me tell you, and there are some people listening to this that have told me in the past, it was our opening was actually pretty good. It's not always. It's not always, man. No, you can plan for decades and it's still something's going to happen.
Yes. The hardest part about ours, I cannot, I don't know anybody else, but we pretty much make every tare, or it's called ramen seasoning, from scratch.
Oh man!
So we have like so many different oil types. So many different like soyu-based types. So each individual, and we have concoct it into my recipe and whatnot. So for each dish,
you did learn the right way, didn't you?
Oh yeah, that's a lot of work. So yeah.
Oh my gosh!
That's one thing. It's a little bit of complexity. A couple of things, right? The complexity of the way how we make the gourmet ramen with the fresh noodle as well.
Yep.
So there's like another factor that is compounding, right?
Okay.
And plus, you haven't even talked about the flow in the kitchen and how it's when you receive the order and whatnot. And
that's everything.
We do a mock-up and all that stuff is still
good.
It's.
Yeah.
Looking back is crazy.
Yeah. Did you have to change the flow back there? Because that's a big dynamic.
Oh, 100%. Actually, yes, we did.
Yeah.
So, actually, after we opened, maybe less than a month, so we have to flip the kitchen flow a little bit. So, and then we have to call the electrician to bring down the...
Oh, no.
Just add another box.
Okay.
So,
another...
Yeah. Just all that kind of stuff, right? This first time and again...
Yeah.
You have it on paper, but in reality, when it's
it's completely different. So you guys get your doors open, get things fixed, change the flow in the kitchen. Everything is going according to as it should, correct?
Yes.
And you get going. When did that itch start to open another spot?
So, yes.
Well, and time out. Before we get to that, you still had to survive COVID.
Oh, yes. I can tell the story there.
Please.
Yes.
I'm here for stories, man.
All right. So 6 months after we opened Nara, actually the COVID hit. We were forced to close, I believe, in March, late March, I believe. And man, prior to that, actually, a few weeks prior to that, actually, I had to go back to Asia because my dad passed.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, it was kind of tough, but I made it back in time before, the U.S. closed
before they closed the doors on you. Yeah.
So I was able to get back, and we opened a little bit until that late March, when it's basically everybody has to close the door, right? And we're grateful that at least we have 6 months under our belt.
Okay.
Where we already had some customer base.
Okay, good.
Right.
Good.
So even when we are forced to only do a pickup or takeout, right? So we're able to deliver that.
Good.
So
okay, good.
And we're very, very, very grateful with the support, from the Northwest Arkansas.
Of course.
Yep.
But it's important that you're able to. That's what got you through.
Yes.
Wow. All right. So then back to the question: when did you start getting the itch to open up a second place?
Yeah. So second place, we actually I was looking around, but I was not in a hurry up because I want to know how the business is, right? So
that's smart, yeah.
Yeah, first year, that has the COVID, right, built into that. Second year, we see a pickup, business picking up. Third year, a little bit picking up as well.
Good.
So, and then we've seen, I think there's there's an opportunity because we didn't do a lot of marketing, if you will.
Sure.
Right. It's a lot of it just the build up from the word of mouth. There's a lot of people still don't know Nara.
Okay.
It's there.
All right.
So even people that talk to folks from Fayetteville, it's like, oh, I don't know you there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so that's why we decided to. You know what? I'm probably maybe able to open another one somewhere close down south.
Okay.
Right. It's maybe either Fayetteville or Springdale.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
So, why downtown Springdale? Because as we were talking about earlier, this was not a target place in the not too distant past. Tell me about getting courted to come to downtown Springdale and making that your decision.
Yes. I was actually looking at two different places. One is in Fayetteville. I worked through an agent friend who actually give me a couple of options. I went there, look at it. You know, there's one in Fayetteville. It's actually owned by Blue Crane as well.
Okay.
But at that time, I was just it's a little too far. I live in Bentonville, so it's just a little too far. And then I'm very analytic. My mind is like thinking about, okay, how about like, how's the lunch crowd look like?
Sure.
How's the dinner crowd look like?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And what else around that? Mm-hmm. So there's two factors, like the distance, and also I'm just worried college town, right? There's a little bit more seasonality involved in there.
Sure.
So, and then a friend of mine is actually told me about downtown Springdale, this location that we'll be at right now. So I talked to the agent or the owner of the Blue, not the owner, one of the agent Blue Crane, and spoke to her and showed me the space. I was like, I think I like this one a lot. So, and then when I look at, even then, I was just kind of still have reservation, right? Because I would have to look at, okay, what's around us, right, in downtown.
And what's going to be around.
It's what's going to be, absolutely. Yeah. So a lot of times, you know, my mind's just thinking about, you know, what is the ceiling, right? Because we're still underdeveloped here, if you think about it.
Completely.
So, and when all that development's finished, right, I think the ceiling is going to be higher.
Absolutely. And the momentum is huge in downtown Springdale right now. We all see it. We all know it.
Yep. That's what I'm hoping that it's going to continue. And, you know, yep.
So tell me about the name Nara, Ramen Nara.
Yes.
Why'd you go with that name for the first one?
I did that on purpose. That particular one, I was just looking at I would say like a city in Japan.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Yeah, and it just, you know, back when you look at the history, and Nara is actually one of the ancient capital of Japan.
Oh, interesting.
So,
okay.
Yeah, so I was like, I think I'm going to go with that.
Yeah,
so,
that's great.
It's really not a lot of, in terms of, you know, what the ramen, what I'm doing is just from there, but it's just more of I did it deliberately. I wanted a city in Japan.
Sure.
And I'm doing a lot of research and whatnot, and then and we incorporate some of the Nara features, for example, like a deer, right?
Oh, wow.
You see our mural in there.
Okay.
It's done by our good friend, Sasha, Tiger Sasha, very well-known artist here in Northwest Arkansas. I think he incorporated that in the mural with the deer and the... that's great. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, and then the name Menya Kitakara.
Yes. So I did this also. This particular one I did on a little bit more kind of on purpose, meaning I already have the intention to just basically, I want to bring something that is from the north.
Okay.
The north is not the Rogers. No. It's the north, like northern Japan.
Right? Yeah.
Yes. So, actually, I'm not Japanese. I grew up in Indonesia, but I get a lot of Japanese friends. So I was just thinking about a couple of options, and on the name, I was like, I want to just call it like, you know, something's from the north, right?
Okay.
It could be just Kitakara, right?
Sure.
And also I brought up that Kitakara. I did research as well. Kitakara, depending on the kanji characters,
Okay.
the written characters, is actually could also mean the reason I came here for.
Interesting.
So, yeah, it's like it's dual meaning, and
That's
then the
very
one that-
intentional.
yeah. Yes, so I was like,
Yeah.
okay, let's go ahead and do that. The Menya itself is just basically a noodle shop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. So, describe the difference between the food at Nara, the food here, Nara, and the food here at Menya.
Yeah, so at Ramen Nara, I think we have kind of a sampling of a different region,
Okay.
right? We have the Hakata style, we have miso ramen, we have like Tokyo style, which is the soyu base.
Okay.
We also incorporate a few of the Southeast Asia influence that we have with
Okay.
our some of the curry dishes and whatnot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Curry. Yeah,
So, it's just kind of a little bit of a, I would say, sampling of different regions.
kind of a tour.
Like, yes.
Yeah.
Right. The Kitakara specifically, I was just looking at the ramen, especially actually from Japan. I mean, from northern Japan, from Hokkaido. A couple of things that is very our number one, which is our Sapporo ramen, is actually inspired. I was inspired by the first ramen shop that served miso ramen.
Okay.
So actually, I went there to eat.
Wow.
Yeah. So the old guy is still there, cooking.
Really?
Yep. That's the second generation, though. Actually, his dad is the one who started it.
Okay.
So,
Okay. But still.
yeah.
Yeah.
So and then I went to like tour Hokkaido, and I just went to different places. You know, eat so many ramen. It's like
You
ramen
got so
overload.
fat. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. That's a joke.
Yeah. So it's just that's kind of the reason I'm bringing it. Okay, Hokkaido. It's very unique, right? A lot of some of the ramen that we do in Hokkaido is also using the wok work.
Okay. Sure.
So something different that we do at Nara. Nara is just pretty much no wok involved. So.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Wonderful. Well, now I've got to ask that question again.
Yeah.
What was the last 24 hours like before opening up here at Kitakara?
You think I have the experience? That's back to zero. Really. I mean, it's really not.
It's great.
It's kind of a start over if you think about it.
Wow.
You got a new setup. I mean, different people
Sure,
helping
of
you,
course.
right? And also you have a different concept, right? The food, the recipe, or whatnot, you're gonna have to be ready. The preparation is a bit different. I think same thing, long hours.
Sure.
Yeah. Good thing is that's when I actually, a few months before I opened, I decided to go ahead and kind of ended my professional career.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So that long. Okay.
Yeah, so
wow.
Yeah, when that happens, it's like, okay, I think I'm gonna have to focus on.
You're gonna have to.
Yes. So I'm in it right now.
Yeah,
So,
man.
it's just like I say, 24 hours. You think you know everything. One thing that I know is the flow. It's better,
It's good.
right? But everything else is brand new,
Okay.
right?
All right.
So it's still kind of all the headache. That you
So-
have to go through the hectic and whatnot.
So no broken AC, no kitchen fires, no fuse boxes blown, nothing like that.
No, but we had to change a couple of breaker box.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's when you find out.
yes, but it's good thing is it was done prior. It
Yeah.
did not disrupt the service.
That's good. That's good. Well, you ready to get more into food?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to talk food. We've also got the Mike Engelman Home Pro Tip of the Week, and that's coming up next right here on The Flavors of Northwest Arkansas.
Connect with us at Flavors of Northwest Arkansas on Facebook and Instagram, or by email at flavorsofnwa@gmail.com.
It is now time for the Mike Engelman Home Pro Tip of the Week, and for that, I'm going to eat it. Sir, what is the tip?
Yes. So if you happen to actually cook the broth at home, just don't use it right away. Just leave it in the cooler, stay overnight. Just make sure all the collagen and everything is going to be. It's going to have more body. compared to when you use it right away.
Okay. So, but you keep it refrigerated, right?
Correct. It has to be refrigerated.
Okay. All right. Interesting tip. And then you bring it out and you just let it sit in the for room temperature till it, or do you?
So best thing is
Put it back in a pot?
You have to cool it right away.
Okay.
Once you cool it right away, put it in the cooler. When
Okay.
it's
Okay.
below 40 degrees.
But then when it's time to eat the next day.
And you can just heat it up from, just take it out from the refrigerator
And just put it in the pot?
Put it in the pot.
Okay, gotcha. Very nice tip. I like it. We'll be right back.
Your story doesn't have to end. As an organ donor, the good in you can live on. In fact, you can save up to 8 lives through organ donation. Sign up to give the gift of life after you're gone. You'll be happy you did. Just maybe, someone else will too. Sign up online today as an organ, eye, and tissue donor at organdonor.gov. It saves lives.
Upon your demise, please don't take healthy organs with you to the grave, please. Head over to organdonor.gov and get signed up. You can save up to 8 lives. 8 lives with 8 donations within one person. That's what happened to me. I received a kidney from a deceased donor, January 27th, 2022. Go to organdonor.gov. And your untimely demise, please help that next person. You can sign up through also your health app on your iPhone or declare as a donor at the Department of Finance or the DMV, depending upon where you live. Thank you very much. And welcome back. It's time to talk food with Inggit. You ready?
I am ready.
Let's get into it here. Prep for you has to start really early.
Yes. So, prep, in a way they say early, it could be early, meaning it not necessarily have to come in like super early.
Sure.
But it's early in the day when basically you could prep. I have to prep ahead.
Absolutely.
100%, right? You're talking about cooking pork, right? You're cooking the broth. Our broth, certain broth cook, 16 hours.
Yeah.
Certain broth cook, overnight at low heat. So just the broth. And then also we just a lot of different things, little things. Like I mentioned, we have different seasoning, different type of oil, different type of ingredients, whatnot. So it's a lot of preparation. There's some that I pretty much, do it myself. There's
Kind of proprietary. You don't want anyone to steal your stuff.
Correct. There are some that actually I can delegate.
Sure.
So yes, a lot of prep. The serving itself is not too bad.
Okay.
Right? But the preparation is a lot. You have to marinate the eggs. You have to allow certain time.
Yeah.
For eggs, you have to cook eggs, right? You have to peel it right away, or you have to hold it for. There's so many different little things, and then each has a shelf life. Right?
Okay.
You
Yeah,
can,
of course.
Certain things you can only keep it for 2 days. Certain
Yep.
things 3 days.
Okay.
All that planning is just it's just adding a little bit of complexity to the preparation. So a lot of we're pretty fortunate. So we got enough kitchen support that help make that happen, and in both places.
And so much planning ahead. And I'm talking also about the Mike Engelman Home Pro Tip of the Week. You talked about making a broth. That's a day ahead, at least,
Yep,
right?
ahead. Yep.
Interesting. Noodles. That's a whole thing for you.
Yes, it's yep.
And that's part of the preparation as well at both places.
Yes. So the difference between Nara and Kitakara, in Nara, we have a noodle machine that we can make the noodle fresh. So certain types we make fresh over there. For Kitakara, since I'm here,
Yeah.
I'm really actually sourcing the noodle from a supplier. I think the only thing that is different is that when I did my research, and we only bring in noodles that are unique.
Okay.
So and I have to special order that. So that's you're not going to see flat noodles everywhere. So
Sure.
you can only find it here.
Sure.
So nobody carries, and the suppliers even mentions like, I can order you a whole pallet. You just throw whenever I need it. So
Sure.
yeah.
So you offer both traditional and modern ramen. For those of us not in the know, what's the difference between those two?
Yeah, traditional in a way, the way my definition of traditional is a little bit more of the most commonly, it's the most popular type of ramens, right?
Okay.
There's a soyu base, and then you have a little bit of, it's just different broth, like thick pork broth, or that's kind of the most popular, right?
Is it
And
thick
also
pork?
Thick pork as well as the clear chicken.
Okay.
Right, and we have that, but the difference is in terms of the traditional. And Nara is a good way of just looking at it. It's a bit more traditional, where you have a sample from a different region.
Okay.
And each of them are pretty much a traditional ramen.
Sure.
Right.
Okay.
Here at Kitakara, there's some traditional ramen from Hokkaido, right? That we mix this. For example, like our Sapporo ramen or Asaikawa ramen. And also there's a little bit unique twist. So when I went to Hokkaido, I tried their the miso tonkotsu, which is our number 2. So I actually make that a little bit of a modern twist with that.
Okay.
By making it spicy and with the butter.
Okay.
So it's really loaded with
You load that
a
thing
lot
down.
of protein in one. And
That's right, man.
It's pretty full.
Yeah. You're not going to be
full
having
right
dessert after that, is what you're telling me.
Yep. And then also I'm doing a little bit more creative. So
good.
Yeah, a lot of creative ramen here. So I actually, I'm just trying to kind of just doing some chef special on certain days where I'm going to showcasing some of the ingredient that I have secure. I mean, this ingredient may not be available every single time. So that's why I'm just make that as a chef special. When it's gone, it's done. And
Sure.
then I'll move on to the next one.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So that's why I'm just trying to kind of push myself.
Sure.
Overall, in total, I already created more than 18 ramens so far in both places. At both places.
Yeah.
But just still trying to push for more. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The creativity. Well, that's part of the fun too.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tell me, back at the start of Kitakara, even before,
Yeah.
you have a clean slate of a menu. You get to build from nothing, and you're putting it together. That feeds back to the creativity, I would think. But what was the aim for you in putting that first menu together?
Yeah, this one is probably back at Nara.
Sure.
Before we open, actually, when we started, we only have 3 or 4 items on the menu.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep, 4 different ramens.
That was here or Nara?
At Nara.
Okay.
So 4 different items. So here is a bit different. I just want to bring in a little bit of that Hokkaido, as well as some of the other more popular dishes and creative dishes, if you will. It's a little bit, I would say, easier in a way, but again, it's still difficult if you think about it, right? I want to make sure that we have a point of differentiation between Nara and here.
Of course.
But there's some of the similarity, the one that we can bring to here.
Mm-hmm.
So, start from clean slate is hard.
Yeah.
And we started off with 4. We're going to see how it goes. And then and again, when you're talking about restaurant business, that was the first restaurant that I own.
Sure.
And I operate. 4 is actually one too many.
Wow.
So,
hello.
It's just because we want to execute each one of them to a perfection.
Of course.
So that's why we actually slowly keep adding stuff. But even then, I still have to tweak it.
Okay.
So same thing here at Kitakara. We have a few, and then when I launch something, I get a feedback from the customer, this and then that, whatnot. So even sometimes, one thing that is kind of difficult with ramen, you can just taste the broth alone. It's great, right? But when you put in all the other components to it, the noodles, all the toppings,
Sure.
if one has to be like cohesive, like it's very, it has that balance. So people you can just slap anything in there, but it may not, you don't have the purpose, right?
True.
So it's different when a lot of time when I sit down, I'm able to sit down.
You don't have the marriage.
Correct.
Yeah.
So when I have time, I'll sit down and it's like, hey, I ask one of my workers, like, just make me one bowl, and then it's like, okay, when all the just the one component, two components, great, but when you're adding this is not.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to tweak that.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's the hardest part. The hardest part, I think, you kind of know, is like, okay, I can just go ahead and make, maybe another thick pork broth ramen with maybe whatever it is, right?
Okay,
so
sure.
with different toppings, but will it go together?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Sure.
And again, watching cooking shows help.
Sure.
Right?
Of course
I watch
it
a
does.
lot. I mean, you can talk to my wife. As like, I watch YouTube. I watch just many cooking show on TVs, whatnot.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the hardest part, is knowing, when you add a menu item, I want to make sure it's, we can deliver it with the excellence. Like, even then, if we have to tweak it, we'll tweak it until to get to it.
Absolutely.
For example, our number 2, it's our one of our most popular items as well here. I tweak it maybe 3, 4, 5 times.
Yeah.
Before, to where it is today.
A lot of adding and subtracting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's great. That's wonderful. Ooh, train says hi. That's great. Let's see. Last time I was here, I told you earlier, I had the garlic miso tori paitan.
Yes.
I loved it. Listen, that black garlic oil, that thing just kind of, for me, binds it all together. Or speaking of marriage, seems to be the marriage partner in that one.
Yes. So that one right there, actually, I brought it from Nara. And when I made that first time, we make our own chicken karaage, which is the fried chicken toppings.
Yeah. Oh,
that
yeah.
we use. It's I just want to figure out, okay, my thought process at that time is like, I want to do something where it's more universal, right? People local like it.
Yeah,
right?
Of course, I get it.
Talking about Springdale, it's the chicken
Sure.
capital of the world.
Absolutely.
Right?
Tip of the cap. I'm with you.
So, I have to bring it here. So, and again, back to the thought process. Like, I think fried chicken will be well received.
Sure.
But what goes in there that will make it great, right? A lot of time we don't do a cross protein, meaning the broth. Usually when we have chicken, we want to keep the chicken topping. So
Sure.
even though there's a customization is allowed as well, if they don't want the chicken topping, they can
Understood,
use
yeah.
something else,
Of
right?
course.
So again, trial and error.
Yeah.
When we're talking about, okay, what broth we're going to use, we're going to keep it chicken. But, I don't think it's going to go well with the clear chicken broth. So we have to use thick chicken broth. So if even that's the case, I have to think about what type of a seasoning I have to use, right? Is this a soyu base, or is it a salt base, right? Or is it a miso base?
And you try all three.
Yes, you have to just kind of going all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you have to do 2 combinations just to get to what it is.
Sure.
So
Interesting.
And then within that, it was like, okay, so you're thinking about fried chicken is already a little bit garlicky.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So
Can be, sure.
Yeah, let's just make this like a garlic lovers, if you will. So
I'm in.
And then put in the garlic chips in there, and also the black garlic oil, just to add the little bit of smokiness, if you will.
Yeah.
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 So
That was great. I understand that you have, or you're just putting a new item on the menu as well.
Yeah. So
Speaking of.
Yeah. So I do have new items, and this is actually based off. It's not Hokkaido style, but it's called Hakata style.
Okay.
A thick pork broth, and this particular one is really. It's the first dish that actually really inspired me to open like a ramen shop.
Oh,
so
wow.
This is one of my favorite.
Oh, wow.
Actually, Nara has it, but it's just like a base. But
Okay.
in this particular one, what I'm doing in here
So it hasn't been on the menu here before.
has not been.
Wow,
So I'm just
okay.
bringing in, and again, this is for garlic lovers.
Hey.
So if you think about pork, thick pork and garlic, I think it goes together really well. They go together.
Yeah.
So, and we're gonna have the black garlic in it as well as the garlic chips in it, with our pork chashu topping.
Okay.
Just to, it's very creamy. And again, of all the ramen that I created, this is one of my personal favorite at all time. I think this is probably the most ramen that I eat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So is this going to be lucky number 13 on the menu?
It's actually number 12.
Oh, okay. So this will be number 12.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good,
and also we
good.
do have also chef specials when I'm gonna do showcasing some of the rotating, if you will.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes all the sense. You've got more than ramen here. You've got the rice bowls.
Yes, we do. Yes. So if you have not been here, you got to try our katsu.
Okay.
Okay. So katsu is basically a breaded protein, whether it's pork or chicken, and we have it in a curry with our curry sauce that we make as well, and it's served with rice. So
there you go.
Yeah, it's gonna be unique seasoning that we put in, and you won't be disappointed.
Yeah.
So.
10 appetizers? Did I have 9 or 10 appetizers?
We I can't even count.
It's between the two. It's one of the two. I know that. Pork gyoza.
Yes.
That's what caught my eye. I know I've not had appetizer. I just came straight in for the black garlic here is what I had. So, but the appetizers obviously look very, very good as well.
Yes. So appetizers, it's a starter, right?
Sure.
Want to make sure that it's complementing the meal that makes this a well-rounded experience, if you will, right? We do make in-house.
Yeah.
Some we source.
Okay.
But even when we source it, we already fed it everything.
Okay.
So we fed it from different suppliers. We even when I ate, just pretty much every brand we already tried.
Okay.
So and then we just picked the one that what we like, and a lot of time, other restaurants don't get it the same thing.
Sure.
So,
Sure.
That's one thing but some that we make in-house, and all the sauces we make in-house.
It's great.
Yeah.
There you go. Tell me about sourcing for you. Does your menu tend to change with the seasons?
Yes.
Or at least parts of it?
Yes, parts of it will change. Okay. Correct. So we actually, a few things that I have in mind is the vegetables, right? I think there's a few things that will change depending on, I could add a few things, maybe green beans, whatnot.
Sure.
Right. We change it from cauliflowers to a different types.
Sure.
And then from the meat, it depends. Potentially, I was actually waiting for soft shell crab, if you will.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I think I did that one time at Nara. It was off the menu item.
Sure.
So we'll get something like that. So this just a lot of time. I mean, maybe crawfish. Who knows?
Ooh.
Right.
Getting brave.
Yeah. So the great thing with ramen is, you can have different combination, whatever it is that you just make sure that
Absolutely.
people love it. They'll come back for more. So a lot of times, we don't know what menu item is gonna make a hit. That's actually it's a great way to do this rotating to figure out which one is is the most.
It's a great barometer. Yeah.
Right, this barometer. I mean, if that's really good, and then I can source it permanently, meaning like all year round, then I'll make that as a permanent menu item. If not, then it's just we'll keep it
stay seasonal.
Stay seasonal.
Yes.
So.
Interesting. It's a great way to look at it too.
Yeah.
So what is next for you?
All right. So.
Oh. All right.
I'm not going to reveal everything, but
there's some things in the hatch.
Yes, I think I have stuff in mind. I just want to. We have to think about just being a traditional sit-down place, right?
Sure.
How can your product be obtained or whatnot? With a larger audience.
Of course.
Right. I think certain things we can stay true, and we can actually believe that our product can actually reach potentially, hopefully nationwide.
Oh.
So that's kind of the goal that I have in mind. So,
okay. World domination.
Well, we're not there yet, but
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Good thing about it is that the feedback that we got from people from out of town, right? From even the the true, it's like, ramen connoisseur or whatnot. It's like our product is really, really good.
That's right. I'm glad you brought that up. You had some pretty famous guests here. I don't know, 3-4 months ago. That sound about right?
Yes. Yep. So we got Ippudo folks, which is one of the top ramen. That's one chain that actually helped inspire me.
That's great. Did you know they were coming?
They give me a heads up.
Okay, good.
So it's actually
kind of them.
Yeah, they were here for like an event with Bentonville.
Sure.
Yeah. So
Sure.
this just ended up like, hey, I just want to come in and eat at your place, and then we'll check out the operation in my kitchen as well. So
It's great.
yeah, it was a great visit. So I'm very, very thankful. So
There are very few things better than that, especially when it's a successful visit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are grateful. I think, like I said, I think the feedback that we got from people, visitors from big cities, right?
Yeah.
New York,
Sure.
LA, San Jose, whatnot. When they come here, it's like, hey, your katsu is one of the best. It's even
great.
better than,
It's great.
yeah, even the our ramen is like, man, it's just up there. One thing that is differentiate between our ramen with other, maybe other places, we do not use MSG at all.
Okay.
Yep.
All
so
right.
a lot of our, I would say the umami is coming from either the way we extract the bones or
Okay.
through the fish or the dashi and whatnot. So
Okay.
yeah,
Interesting.
I'll take a pride on that one.
So that is step number 1 to world domination, is what it is, right?
Hope so. So
Ramen
yeah.
domination.
Yeah, it's,
That's it right there.
Yeah, we got we're not, we're still mom and pop,
Sure.
if you will, right?
Absolutely.
We are a small business.
You bet.
But I just had a big inspiration. So
That's great.
hopefully we're able to take it to the
Great.
next level.
Big goals, my man. Big
Yeah,
goals.
yeah.
How can folks in these here parts find you?
So they can find me on Instagram,
Okay.
Facebook. We have that
Okay.
one as well as we do have our website, Google Map, Yelp,
All of it.
all of it pretty
Okay.
much. Yep.
All right, great.
So not on TV yet.
Well, there's that. There's that. Just put cameras all the way around. Just do live, round the clock. Just stream the whole thing. Wouldn't you
Yes.
love that?
I might do some maybe a live broadcast when we cook something or something like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. You can find Flavors of Northwest Arkansas on Facebook and Instagram, and we're still working on TikTok. It's live, but we're still working on it. I'm older, so that's different for me. Appreciate you joining us. Please remember to tip your servers and have a great week. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.